Hello, my friend. Happy 2022. Welcome to the new year. Welcome to new opportunities. Welcome to the chance to solidify all the shifting, all the changing, all the learning, all the growing that we have been having in the past. And I truly believe that this is the time that we can make a lot of things happen. And the question is, what would you like to manifest this year? You can even type 2022 in the chat, type what you want to manifest. But here's the deal. When you're thinking about your goals, your New Year's resolutions, what you want to manifest, hi, Jill, the question for you is actually to ask what is trying to happen. We can create all the goals and visions in our mind, but are we really tuning into the flow of what's really going to happen? Like what the universe wants, what other people want in this moment. There's been many times where I've attempted the same thing over and over again, and not out of insanity, but it's sort of like I create one program and then maybe a couple people like it, and I create another program and a whole bunch of people like it, and then I do the same thing again, repeat the same process, and barely anyone signs up. And I realized that the problem wasn't even necessarily me, but that there's a relationship with the timing of what's happening in this place for these people at this time. There's something that happens in the universe. So first I wanted to say that to take a little bit of the weight off of you, that sometimes when something doesn't seem like it's hitting the success that you want, you may be doing all the right things and it's just not the right thing at the right time. And then the next thing is to attune ourselves to paying more attention to what is trying to happen. And my best way of doing that is just taking a small step and watching if there is a response. And if there isn't much a response, that maybe take a step in a different direction and see if there's a response at any one of these other directions. And where there is response is where I continue to move forward. This is also why the Valentine's soiree has so many people involved with it, so much going on with it, and it just sounds like such an awesome program. The other reason why I'm able to do so much is because I'm focusing my time on those who are expressing interest. And the last 2 years, hosting a Valentine's Day event has been, or weekend event, has been one of my favorite things that I've done all year of events that I've hosted. And I was wondering, is it going to happen this year? Is there the interest? Is there the energy? What's going on in the world? What can we do safely, right? And I started just in August mentioning Valentine's event to some people and starting to bounce some ideas. And when I saw 3 or 4 people excited, I felt like, okay, these people want to be a part of it. They're excited. There's enough energy to make this happen. A lot of those people are not even still involved, right? Other things came up in life. And so the interesting thing is, though, that they just created the trigger of energy, but all these other people have come into the mix since then. So it's also paying attention to what opens the door in the beginning isn't necessarily what's going to continually open the door, but focus more on where there is energy. And I simply just watch. Do these people seem interested? I'll share more. Do they not seem interested? I'll stop sharing. That's how it goes. So really fun way to do things is a little trick we say in the personal development world, like if you're going to launch a new online course, is sell it first and make sure there's enough interest, and then spend all the time creating it once you know there's enough interest. So set your launch date far enough out in advance that you have the time to create what you want to manifest for the group. The other thing that I want to say about your New Year's resolutions, and when we're looking at what is trying to happen, it's also asking the question, for what reason are you wanting this? And that takes another deeper look as well. But sometimes what you're actually doing is a means justify the ends, where you're really wanting that because your soul knows there's something to learn in the process of getting to that place. So you just have to go through each of those steps, go through your life, and enjoy the process. So remember, not everything is about the end result and the end goal, but who are you becoming in the process of getting there? Because often if you become who you meant to become, by the time you get there, you don't necessarily care about it because it was more about the process. The other thing to consider is that a lot of the goals that we create are really there because we feel like they're going to help us feel a certain way. They're going to give us an experience in life that we really want. Now, if your goal is to meet your life partner and be in a committed relationship with them in 2022, also ask yourself, what is that going to give me? How am I going to feel when I have that? So here's the key. Part of why visualization works is because you imagine already having that. And the thing that you really want is the feeling behind it, not necessarily the form. So when you're visualizing, you're already in your success of attaining what you want because you have control to feel in this moment, depending on how you think in this moment, how you want to be feeling. And then if you give yourself now what you want, you also don't necessarily care about the results. A little trick that I really love is to make a list of all the ways in which you want already exists in your life so that you can cherish that with gratitude. And the more you live in that vibration of already having, the more you're going to magnetize even more of what you want to you. For instance, if we talk about wanting a life partner and you write down all of these qualities or write down how you would feel with this life partner, but then I want you to make a list of the people who in your life who match the sex of the partner that you want, right? So if you don't care about the sex of your partner, then it could be anyone in your life. And make a list of all the people closest to you. And then what of those aspects that you want in your romantic partner do those people exhibit for you? So what are all the ways do you already have what you want? Help yourself feel successful with what you already have and celebrate what you already have. All of those create the vibrational magnetism to be getting more of what you want. So please share this video with others so that they can all create empowered goals for 2022. Share what your goals are, especially after you go through this process in the chat, and have a wonderful 2022.